Namaskar friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Truth and Philosophy. I am Dr. Satyabrat Das. Today we will discuss on the divine literatures in Hinduism such as the Vedas, Upanishads, Agamas, Puranas and so on. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. In Vedic period, prior to 10,000 BC, the great scholars and philosophers of Sanatan Vedic religion synthesized and shared the knowledge among the human society. There was a message to the world about the world peace, from conflict of war to cosmic love, truth and non-violence, attainment of unity of self or oneness, tolerance of other religions and many more. Glory to India, glory to Hinduism, glory to the rishis and the seekers who have kept burning the flame of Hinduism with its extreme effulgence and brilliance. The divine literatures were written in Sanskrit, as Sanskrit was the ancient language of Indian subcontinent with a history of perhaps around 10,000 BC. It is the primary historical language of Vedic Hinduism and the predominant language of most work of Hindu philosophy. Sanskrit literature can be classified under 6 orthodox heads or sections, and from the authoritative scriptures and 4 secular heads, and form classical Sanskrit literature of Hindus. The 6 authoritative scriptures are Shrutis, Smritis, Itihas, Puranas, Agamas and Darshanas. Similarly, the 4 secular writings are Subhashitas, Kavyas, Natakas, Alankaras, etc. The Shrutis literally means that what we hear. The Shruti are called the Vedas, the oldest and the foundational form of scriptures communicated through hearings by the disciple from the gurus. The term Veda comes from the root Vid, means the knowledge. When it is applied to scripture, it is signified a book of knowledge. Vedas are direct insight disclosures and are in the custody to be entirely superhuman, without any author in particular. Vedas came out of the breath of Lord. They are the words of God. The Vedas are not the utterance of the persons. They are not the composition of any human mind. They were never written, never be created. They are eternal and impersonal. Vedas revealed the eternal truth revealed by God without any beginning or end. The rishis saw the truths or heard them. Therefore, the Vedas are what are Shrutis. The Vedas are the oldest books in the library of man. The truth contained in all religions are derived from Vedas and are ultimately traceable to the Vedas. The Vedas are ultimately the source of religion, and all religious knowledge can be traced accordingly. The 4 Vedas and their subdivisions. Later in Mahabharata period of more than 3000 BC, Maharishi Vedavyas compiled the Vedas into written scriptures. Maharishi Vedavyas made divisions of Vedas into 4 parts, which suits the 4 stages of man's life. The Veda is divided into 4 great books such as the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, the Sham Veda, and Atharva Veda. The Rig Veda is divided into 21 sections. The Yajur Veda divided into 109 sections. The Sham Veda into 1000 sections. And Atharva Veda is divided into 50 sections. In all total, the Veda is thus divided into 1180 sections. Each Veda consists of 4 parts: the Mantra Samhita or the hymns. Second is the Brahmanas or explanation of mantras or rituals. Third part is Aranyakas, and fourth part is Upanishads. Let us discuss about Mantra Sanhitas. The Mantra Sanhitas are hymns in praise of Vedic God, Nirguna, Nirakar, for attaining material prosperity and here the happiness thereafter. There are metrical poems comprising prayers, hymns, and addressed to various deities, both subjective and objective. The mantra portion of Vedas are useful for the brahmacharya states. Each Veda is divided into Mantra Samhita. The Rig Veda Samhita is the greatest Indian Bible, which no Hindu could forget to adore from the core of his heart. Its style and language and the tone are most beautiful and mysterious. Its immortal mantras embody the greatest truth of existence, and it is perhaps the greatest treasure in all the scripture literature of the world. The Yajur Veda Samhita is the mostly in prose and is meant for superfluous explanations of the rites in sacrifices, supplementing the Rig Veda mantras. Similarly, the Sham Veda Samhita is mostly borrowed from Rig Vedic Samhita and is meant in sacrifices. The last one is Atharva Veda Samhita. It is used to correct or mispronunciations and wrong performances that may accidentally be committed in sacrifice. The second portion of Shruti is the Brahmana portion. In the Brahmanas portion, the Brahmanas are the explanations of mantras or rituals and guide people to perform sacrificial rites. The Brahmana portion are prose explanations of the methods of using the mantras in the yajna or the sacrifice and suitable for the householders. There are 2 Brahmana portions to Rig Veda. These are Aitreya and Sankhya. There are 3 Brahmana portions to Yajur Veda. These are Satapatha, Taittiriya and Maitrayana. The Panchavimsa, the Sadavimsa, the Chanda Yoga and Abhaduta the Upanishad Brahmans are the portion of Sham Veda. The Brahmana portion of Atharva Veda is called Gopatha. We will go for Aranyakas. The Aranyakas are the third part of Shruti literature. The Aranyakas are the forest books, the mystical sylvan texts which give philosophical interpretations of rituals. The Aranyakas are intended for the Banaprasthas or hermits who prepare themselves for taking sannyasa. Each of the Brahmanas has got an Aranyaka. The fourth part is a very great part, that is the Upanishads. The Upanishads are the concluding portion of Vedas. or the end of Vedas. The Upanishad contains the essence or the knowledge portion of the Vedas. The philosophy of Upanishad is sublime, profound, lofty, and soul-stirring gists, and the goal of the Vedas. The Upanishad speaks the identity of individual soul and the supreme soul or Brahman. They reveal the most subtle and the deep spiritual truths. The Upanishads are helpful for the sannyasis. The most important Upanishads are Isha Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Aitreya Upanishad, Taitreya Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad, Kaushitiki Upanishad, Shwebhavatra Upanishad, Maitrayani Upanishad. The essence of Veda are the subject matter of the whole Vedas are divided into the Karma Kanda or the ritual section deals with various sacrifices and rituals. The mantra and the Brahmins constitute Karma Kanda. The Upasana Kanda is the second part, the second essence of Veda. It deals with the worship section with various kinds of worships and meditation. The Aranyaka constitute Upasana Kanda. The third essence of Veda is Jnana Kanda or knowledge section. It deals with the highest knowledge of Nirguna Brahman. The Upanishads Jnana Kanda. It means the Upanishads, what we have discussed from Isha Upanishad to Maitrayani Upanishad are all inclusive in Jnana Kanda of essence of Veda. After discussing Shruti, the next important part of the scripture is the Smriti. The Smriti is all about the scripture after Shruti. It is the secondary scripture. Smriti means what is remembered. These are ancient sacred law codes or rule books of Hindus dealing with Sanatana Varnashram Dharma. Smriti stands next in authority after Shruti, and it was compiled by the sages of different ages and different parts of India. The Smritis are based on teachings of Vedas and detailed instructions according to the conditions of the time to all classes of humans regarding their duties and obligations in life. The Smritis prescribe certain do's and do nots for a person according to his birth and the stages of life. The object of Smriti is to purify the heart of man and take him gradually to the supreme abode of immortality. There are 18 main Smritis prescribed for Hindu society and the laws made by 18 sages. The remarkable Smritis of 4 great sages were highly followed. These 4 remarkable Smritis are Manu Smriti by Manu in Satyuga, Yajnavalkya Smriti by Yajnavalkya Rishi in Treta Yuga, Sankha Latika Smriti in Dwapara Yuga, Parasara Smriti by Rishi Parasara in Kali Yuga. The other Smritis contributors were Vishnu, Daksha, Sambrata, Vyasa, Harita, Vashistha, Yama, Gautama, Devala, Ushana, Atri, and Saunaka. The Shruti and Smriti are two authoritative sources of Hinduism. Shruti literally means what is heard, and Smriti means what is remembered. Upanishad is an example of Shruti, whereas Bhagavad Gita is an example of Smriti. The next important scripture is the Itihasa. The Itihasas exemplify all that is in Vedas, but only in a simplified manner. These are called Shruti Samhitas or friendly treatises, while the Vedas are called Prabhu Samhitas or commanding treatises. Itihasas explain the great universal truth in the form of historical narratives, stories, and dialogues. These are very interesting volumes and are liked by all, from all inclusive child to intellectual scholar. There are four profound scriptures consist of Itihasa. These are Valmiki Ramayana, the Yoga Vasishtha, the Mahabharata, and the Harivamsa. The fourth important scripture is the Puranas. The Puranas are of the same class as Itihasa and belong to the class of Shruti Samhitas. They have 5 characteristics. Example are history, cosmology principles, secondary creations, and ancestors of kings and great people. The aim of Puranas is to impress on the mind of the masses the teaching of the Vedas and to generate in the devotion of God through concentrate myths, stories, legends, leaves, saints, kings, and the great men, and the chronicle of the great historical events also. The Puranas were meant not for the scholars, but for the ordinary people who could not understand high philosophy and who could not study the Vedas. The Puranas are meant for masses with inferior intelligence. The religion is taught in a very easy and interesting way through these Puranas, and even in today Puranas are so popular. The 18 Puranas which are remarkably popular among the people are the Vishnu Puran, the Naradiya Puran, Srimad Bhagavat Puran, Garuda Puran, Padma Puran, Varaha Puran, Brahma Puran, Brahmananda Puran, Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Markandeya Puran, Vaivasya Puran, Vamana Puran, Matsya Puran, Kurma Puran, Linga Puran, Shiva Puran, Sankha Puran, and Agni Puran. Out of these Purans, 6 are claimed as Sattvic Purans and glorify the god of Vishnu. 6 are proclaimed as Rajasic Puran and glorify the god of Brahma, and 6 are Tamasic Purans and they glorify the god Shiva. The beginners in the spiritual path are very much puzzled when they go through Shiva Puran and Vishnu Puran, because in Shiva Puran Lord Shiva is highly praised and an inferior position is given to Lord Vishnu. Similarly, in Vishnu Puran, Lord Vishnu is highly praised and an inferior status is given to Lord Shiva. The 5th part of the scriptures is The Agamas. The Agamas are the practical manuals of divine worship. The Agamas include the Tantras, Mantras, and Yantras. These are treatises explaining the external worship of God in idols, temples, and other forms. All the Agamas emphasizes on Jnana or knowledge, Yoga or concentration, Kriya or mysterious rituals, and Charya or exotic worship. They also give elaborative detail about ontology and cosmology, liberation, devotion, meditation, philosophy of mantras, mystic diagrams, charms and spells, temple building, image making, domestic observance, social rituals, public festivals, etc. The Agamas are divided into three sections based on the doctrine and dogmas on their respective Agamas. The first one is called the Vaishnava Agamas, which glorify God as Vishnu. The Saiva Agamas or Shiva Siddhanta glorify the God as Shiva. And the Shakta Agamas or Tantras glorify God as the mother of the universe under one of the many names of Devi. The last part of the scripture is the darshans. These darshans are the intellectual sections of Hindus. They have writing, while the first four are intuitional and last two are emotional or inspirational. Darshanas are schools of philosophy based on Vedas. Agamas are theological. Darshana literature is philosophical. The darshanas are meant for knowledgeable scholars who are gifted with acute insight, good understanding, and power of reasoning and subtle intellect. Darshanas have 6 divisions based on philosophers or rishis. These are the Nyaya, founded by Gautama Rishi, the Vaisheshika by Kanada Rishi, the Sankhya Darshan by Kapila Muni, the Yoga Darshan by Maharshi Patanjali, the Purva Mimamsa Darshan by Jamini Rishi, and Uttar Mimamsa, or betterly known as Vedanta, by various contributors or the scholars of spiritual being. These were Advaita philosophy of Vedanta, proposed by Adiguru Shankaracharya, Visishta Advaita, proposed by Ramanujacharya, Dvaita philosophy propounded by Madhavacharya, Dvaita philosophy propounded by Nimbarkacharya, Suddha Advaita by Ballavacharya, and Achintya Veda Aveda philosophy by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are the darshans contributed by different rishis at their point of time to provide knowledge of individual being. Now the last part of our discussion is the secular writing. And the secular writing doesn't emphasize on much about spiritualism. It takes only for the human beings' problem solving and their entertainment and their knowledge building philosophies. And these secular writings starts with Subhasitas. The Subhasitas are wise saying instructions and stories, either in a form of poetry or in prose. Examples are Bhartrihari's Subhasita Ratna Bhandara, Somadeva Bhatta's Katha Sarit Sagara, Shemendra's Bharat Katha Manjari, Vishnu Sarma's Panchatantra, and Hitopanishads also belonging to this category. Under secular writing, the next important scripture is the Kavyas. These are highly scholarly compositions, both in a form of poetry and a prose. The greatest of political Kavyas are those of Kalidasa's Raghuvansa and Kumarasambhava, Megha's Sisuplavadha, Sri Hari's Nishadha, Banabhatta's Kadambari and Harsacharita. Among those containing both poetry and prose, the Champu Ramayana and the Champu Mahabharata are the most famous Kavyas. These are all wonderful masterpieces which will ever remain to glorify India's literary caliber. The third part of the secular writing is Natakas. The Natakas are marvelously scholastic dramas representing the rasas of Sringara, Veera, Karuna, Abadhuta, Hasya, Bhayanaka, Vibhasta, and Rudra. The best dramas are written by Kalidasa's Sakuntala, Vaibhavuti's Uttara Ramacharita, Vishakha Datta's Mudra Rakshasa. Another element of secular writing is Alankaras. These are the grand theoretical texts treating of science of performance and beauty of ornamental languages and of effective composition with elegance and force. These are both in poetry and prose. These are the fundamentals of Sanskrit Sahitya, even superior to the Kavyas and Natakas. After discussing, we understand that the glory of Hinduism is unbeatable. It is carried with it all features of a universal religion. Its dharmas are universal. Its doctrines are sublime. Its philosophy is grand. Its ethics is soul elevating. Its scriptures are wonderful. With this, I end my discussion. Please suggest me with your valuable comments and feedback. Till then, thank you for watching. Namaste.